As always, if you have any technical issues, I do have my cell phone here in front of me. I mean, your guys' kids are seniors. We're already in spring semester. We're almost to the finish line, so you guys are pretty much all experts at this point. um, it's getting to that time where the seniors are stressed almost 24/7, but they also know they're really close, so they're getting really, really excited. I will share more, just about everything that is going on. But let's just go ahead and get started. We're talking today about scholarships, acceptances, deferrals, rejections, and of course, financial aid packages with you and your mentee, and just a little bit more about senior year. Before I get started, my colleague Maria from our philanthropy team wanted to share some information, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen momentarily so that she can share it. And it should let you do it, Maria, I believe.
Wait one sec. It says I've sent a request. All right.
It should let you now.
Thank you all for letting me crash your meeting. I just wanted to give you all a little bit information of a campaign that we have operating currently. So to just introduce myself to those of you on the call that I haven't met before or haven't had a conversation with. My name is Maria. I've been with Guadalupe Center for the last 4 years, and I'm on the development team here. Really proud of the work that we do. Like Daniel, I am also a Tutor Corps alumni, so happy to be contributing back to the organization. The specific campaign that we have going on right now is a monthly giving campaign. So we know that folks that give to us on a monthly basis really help us keep our revenue reliable and sustainable. And as we continue to provide the programs that we do and have Daniel educate our students as much as he does day in and day out. We want to increase the number of monthly donors that we have. Currently, we have about 50. Our goal is to double that number by the end of 2026. So you might have seen this campaign that was mailed out or some emails that have gone out, but we do have a very generous supporter that actually has agreed to match this. So for every new donor, monthly donor that comes on board, their one-time commitment will be matched dollar for dollar up to $25,000. So we will be sharing this through our social media, through our emails, and we would love if you would be able to share this on your social medias with friends that you might think would be interested in supporting us in this way. We have monthly donors that are supporting us at $10 a month, and it increases from there. On an average, we have monthly donors giving anywhere between $25, $50, and $100. It's really whatever anybody's capacity is. And I'm proud to say that we do also have a lot of staff members that are monthly donors themselves. So just wanted to put this opportunity out there. Like I mentioned, you'll see it being blasted throughout all of our social channels in the next several months, since it does run all of this 2026 calendar year. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer it. Otherwise, really appreciate all the work that you do with our kiddos. I just became a mentor myself, so I'm excited to see where the journey takes me. She is a freshman, so you guys are at the tail end of it. I'm at the very beginning, so thank you. Any questions?
I have one. Maria, if somebody's a monthly donor but increases the amount, does that go towards the match?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if no other questions, I will turn this back to Daniel and I will jump off. I have another meeting I have to get to, but thank you so much for hearing me out. Nice to see so many familiar faces, and hopefully I'll see you at a celebration dinner to celebrate your seniors.
Excuse me, Maria. Sorry, I was just going through a thought process. I make an annual contribution to the Guadalupe Center. So, are you suggesting that I change that to a monthly in order to get the match?
No, if you want to support us on an annual basis, that's okay too. This is just another way for people to support us. For some folks, it's easier for them to do it on a monthly basis at a lower amount. It's kind of one of those set it and forget it kind of deals. But we often have a lot of supporters that will make like a yearly gift through their charitable funds or their IRA accounts. So it's really up to your preference as far as how you give. The match is really a way for us to try to attract new monthly donors.
No, I understand that, but if I change it to a monthly, do I take advantage of the match for you?
You would, yeah, you would be taking
Okay,
advantage of
that
it.
was
Yeah.
my question. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your meeting. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, Maria. No problem. I will share my screen once again. Thank you, Maria. And then we can just jump right in. I gotta give a huge shout out to Anita. She has been texting, emailing, finding kids nonstop for the last, I don't know how many months, but she has been on top of them, making sure that everything gets submitted, trying to put together things neatly. And I'm very glad to get to share some of her work today. Um, this entire spring semester, our focus for our seniors is working on scholarships. They are pretty much doing it nonstop. They have senior work days where if they're dismissed from school early, from an early dismissal day, or there's a no school day, we actually have them coming to our center or the lab at the high school to really just work on scholarships. There are several different ones, but the biggest ones are the Color Community Foundation and Collaboratory, where if they apply to that one, they actually are automatically applied to hundreds of other ones that that foundation manages. Um, we do have weekly class meetings where Anita does call them into the high school lab once a week, where they will just work on items that she has for them. And this is the season of scholarships. So ask your students, which ones have you filled out? Which ones are you struggling with? Is there anything I can help you with? Most of the students have it down by now because they are using their senior essay that we tailored back in the fall that they worked on for several months, and they just use that essay and tweak it. But to show you all, Anita made a very great and very neat spreadsheet. Let me just stop sharing my screen real quick and say, and here once again. So every single student has this link to this Google spreadsheet, and Anita does update it regularly with scholarships that are actively coming out. So they have the scholarship name, the amount for the scholarship, the type, whether it's local to Immokalee for the state of Florida or even for the nation, as well as deadlines. Um, I won't say that she goes in there and does it every single day because that kind of be impossible. But I mean, the fact remains there's 2 days left, and it's telling them, they got to do it. The notes include if, it is for women. For example, this one also is the Collier Scholars Common application. So in that one application, they're actually applying to over 70 different scholarships in the community. She has if an essay is needed, if they need a letter of recommendation, their transcript, their resume, their FAFSA, if they need their parents' 1040, and then of course the link to the scholarship itself. So it is very simple for the kids to come on and see like, hey, what have I not done? What can I do? And what's really great about it too is that she also has been in communication with Simmons. We keep that relationship with him. He is the counselor at the high school for the seniors specifically. So at the high school, there are a little over 2,000 students. The last report I got was that we do have the largest high school in the county. So if you can imagine, we have about 400-ish seniors at Immokalee High School and one counselor working with all of them. So that would be an absolute nightmare for myself. Anita does work personally with all 34 of our seniors, and she's constantly communicating with Simmons to make sure that she has up-to-date information. Simmons sends the scholarships to myself or her, and we will plug them into here. But that way the kids know, if I have some free time, let me jump on and fill out some applications. And that way they can do this regularly all the way pretty much through April. And what's really cool is that April, end of April, beginning of May, the high school will actually have a scholarship ceremony where they will announce several of these scholarship winners They're at the high school itself. They do invite parents. Sometimes the students get some extra tickets and they're able to invite their mentors. I'm not sure of the date of it exactly just yet, but you can tell, we do tell the students this. You can tell which kid has put in the most time applying to scholarships because they're getting called almost every 5 minutes, constantly rotating on the stage. They put in so much work, and yeah, the amounts might be small. They might be only 100 or 250 or 500 or maybe even 1,000. But after getting their name called like 10 times, the students get like, man, that person really put in the work. And so we do tell the students, take it seriously because it does all add up. So the seniors have been working on them nonstop, and they will continue to do so throughout the spring semester. Can everyone see that I switched the presentation slide? Yeah, okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I had a different setting out, and I wanted to make sure it worked. But right now, what the students are also getting is they're also getting acceptances from the universities that they applied to if they haven't gotten them already. The most recent one that we were waiting on was the University of Florida, which just came out last Friday. Big schools like the University of Florida and Florida State wait till a Friday at like 5 p.m. to announce decisions so that they're not flooded with calls from angry parents or counselors or people. So by this time, most of your students do know most of their school's decisions on whether they were accepted, deferred, or rejected. We all hope for acceptances, but we know, not every student's going to get accepted to every single school that they applied to, especially considering we did have them apply to 3 reach schools, which, they may not have qualified for, but, you never know. They might have gotten deferred. Several of our students did get deferred from the University of Florida. What that means is that come March, they will re-review their application and then give them a decision at that time. And if they're rejected, and maybe that might have been your student's number one choice, it's all about just talking about, there are other opportunities at other universities and just trying to help coach them through it. Because while they might be very sad, we got to get them motivated to fill out scholarships so that they can go to another school somewhere else. What they'll also start receiving, and we've actually had a few come in, is their financial aid packages for each university. And so we'll walk the students and the parents through this college cost worksheet that we'll have. But for each school, we will have their tuition, housing, board, and fees, as well as anything that the school might suggest, like books and supplies, health insurance, travel, and personal, so that they can fully see for each school what is their cost of attendance. And we set up our spreadsheet where they can also add in the grants and scholarships that they have. What we also tell the students is that they are not allowed to put a scholarship or a grant in here unless they have received a letter saying, you have been awarded this letter. Because too often students will say, you know what, I'm going to apply to these scholarships. That's how I'm going to be able to afford to go to a said school. But the money's not theirs yet, and so we don't want them to put the hopes on something that may not come through. And then it does all automatically. Oh, sorry about that. It does all automatically add up so that they can see their cost for 1 year and cost for 4 years. We do have that meeting in person with the parents here at the center so that both the student and the parent understands, this is my cost. This is what my student's going to owe. For the last 4 years, we've been very fortunate. All of Anita's hard work paid off where not a single student had to take out a loan to go to school for their first year. That first year does kind of reflect every year. So, we're trying to keep that going. But we do know sometimes maybe a student will decide that they want to go to a school that's a little out of their price range, but they're willing to take that loan. But we do just want to make sure that both the student and the parent understands, this is exactly what I'm getting myself into. Your student might be saying, maybe I want to go to a technical school. We still also break down that cost for them so that way they can see, this is what it's going to cost to go there. And then if your students in the Marines are saying they want to go to the Marines or the military, we'll coach them through that process, make sure that they're on track, and even talk to their recruiter as well to make sure that the student has what they need. We get very excited for our students no matter which path they want to take. but we just want to make sure that we support them. Before we get into that, my friend Jorge is here. He is our college director. Here, I'm gonna move my camera so that everyone can see him. Um, is there anything, Jorge, you'd like to add about the college cost worksheet process with the parents and the students?
Oh, yeah, so that is something that, we want to make sure that the students and parents understand. So I know Daniel and his team does a great job initially to make sure that the families understand that before they make a commitment to their college. And then once they're in college, that's something that Abby and I work with them every year. That is part of those scholarship requirements, is they have to pay the
Excuse me, Jorge, it's a little hard to hear you. Can you just be a little closer to Daniel's mic, please?
Yeah, I
Thank you.
jumped in on Daniel here, so.
Thank you.
Saying is that Danny and his team do a great job initially to get the students the information before they make that commitment to their colleges, and then once they're in college, that is part of their scholarship documents. So they have to send us a financial aid package every year, so we review that and kind of make sure that the students are keeping consistent with what their expected costs are. If something changes, we have those conversations with them at that point. But this morning we were talking about students in the program, and over 85% of the students that have come through the program have been able to graduate without having to take out any loans. And going over the cost is a big part of that. So we definitely work with them to understand that piece.
Thank you, Jorge. All right, guys, trying to find my cursor here real quick. Okay. Go back to sharing the screen. So we do build this process all upon itself. That way, the students really can flow just through it. Seniors, my fee is committed as early as actually now. We did have one student who went to visit our partnership university, Arcadia, in Philadelphia, for right before winter break. Sorry about that. Right before winter break, and she saw the school, she saw the scholarship package that she was getting. She knew it was a full ride. She was comfortable with the campus, and she committed before she even got back home to Immokalee. We were very excited for her. Her mom understood it as well. They called her on the phone to break it down for her. And it's so exciting to see these kids make that final commitment, especially because, they've worked so hard these last 4 years. They've worked with our after school program, with you guys as their mentor. And it's incredible to see the growth that they've had. To quote a mentor who couldn't make it today, she might be jumping on a little later, but she said her now senior started off as a church mouse her freshman year. And now she can't get in a question anymore because she won't stop talking. It's incredible to see that growth with your students. But we are still tracking everything to make sure that, everything is in process. That everything is going correctly. So anything financial aid related or FAFSA or scholarships, if you have questions or maybe your students are feeling a little unsure that they reveal to you, let me know. And that way we can sit down with them and talk to them about it, with them and with yourself. We do try to keep mentors as up to date as we can. But sometimes everything is just moving so fast that, it's hard for us to keep up. There are a few Saturdays available if you'd like to come out to the center and meet with your mentee in our mentor lounge. I know we do have our picnic coming up on February 21st. We actually have our freshman sophomore picnic this Saturday. And with the recent weather changes, I'm a little bit worried about what will happen. I imagine not too much will be bad on February 21st, but if you want to come out to meet with your mentee at our campus in our mentor lounge, just let me know and I can reserve it for you. Yeah, like I said, the picnic, and then our cultural event did change, unfortunately. When artists sent over the final contract to make the payment, I said, hey, this date's wrong. They said, oh, well, we don't have any other tickets for the other date. So in classic fashion, we're very adaptable. We make things quick. So we will still have our event on March 28th. The theater is now rented from Regal. So we'll be sending information out to everyone, but we'll be watching the movie A Breadwinner and then having lunch at Joey D's. Mike from Joey D's has been able to host us there at his restaurant for the past 3 years, and we really enjoy having lunch there. And since we've had that continue, I think it'll be a great day. If you're interested, and Mark and Linda, I see you're on the call. We do have our annual budget day happening on February 16th. There was an email invite blast that went out to all the mentors. It's an incredible day at the Hideaway Beach Club on Marco Island. A day with the second graders. It may even arise that same second grader you have ends up in our tutor corps program. I was going through some old photos, and one of our sophomores is actually in the background of the photo that I was at Buddy Day when I was first running Pinecrest. And so I sent it to her in a text, and I'm like, hey, do you recognize yourself? And she's like, no, I don't at all. So it's really incredible to see the kids come through. And I told her myself, I'm like, I can't believe I've been with Guadalupe long enough as an adult that the second graders I had when I first graduated are now sophomores in high school. But it's an incredible day. Mark, Linda, would you like to add anything?
Just a quick comment. We're looking forward to it. Everything is on schedule in terms of preparation. We just hope for a wonderful weather day because the kids will be outdoors the entire day, running around on our beaches. Last year we did it at the clubhouse, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I believe it will be fantastic again this year. So if you'd like to be a big buddy, there's plenty of documentation that's out there in terms of how to do that. We would appreciate it. It's a wonderful, wonderful day.
And I would just add, if you haven't received something, you can reach out to Maria Bustamante at the Guadalupe Center. And you arrive a little bit after 9 and you're done by 2 o'clock. And you take the kids through a structured program so you don't have to figure out what to do with them. There's a series of structured events plus lunch that you guide the child through. And then the day ends with the children singing a song to you on the beach and then getting a goodie bag and boarding the bus. So if you haven't participated before, we would welcome your participation. Daniel, I had one question. On your previous chart, you're showing the senior celebration dinner as April 17th. In other meetings, like the program committee meeting, it's saying April 23rd. Can you clarify what the correct date is?
Yes, that was my mistake. I made all these slides over the summer, and that was when we initially had that date. I am pulling it up right now. Give me 1 second. It is happening on April 23rd, so I do apologize for my typo. I will update that before I send the recap.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions from anyone about anything for me or for your fellow senior mentors?
Yeah, just a question. If you're going to send a recap to this with some changes on the PowerPoint?
Yeah, with that date change, with the correct senior celebration date. Okay.
Yeah. Is it possible for you to make available those spreadsheets that you shared with us? Especially, I'm kind of interested in seeing the full litany of the scholarships that are available, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So I'll send over the scholarship one and the college cost one.
Thank you.
By the way, just one comment about the scholarship day that they have out at Immokalee High School. We've been to it on a couple of occasions, and it is a remarkable event. You'll be surprised at the quantity and the amount of money which these young people, and I'm talking about all the Immokalee High School seniors, garner as a result of their efforts. And we're talking about millions of dollars that they are available to them, and they do get.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, last year, Immokalee High, I believe, reported their number in all scholarship dollars accrued by the entire senior class. I think it added up to about $6.3 million.
Wow.
And I was incredibly proud of our seniors because we made up about 4.2 of that. So our seniors definitely do really well, but it is an incredible day to see. And then the parents are there as well, so that way they can, see their student's name being called on stage and the amounts that they earn.
So did I hear you correctly earlier that there's a limited number of tickets for that? So it would just be if our students had extra tickets, that we could go? Is that?
Yeah. When I do find out the date, I will let all the mentors know, and that way they can at least block it off on the calendar. And if the student has that availability, they can let you know. But as soon as the high school hasn't released it yet, just for this school year, but as soon as I know it, I'll include it in my slideshow and in my emails.
Great.
Awesome. Any other questions that I can answer? I hope everyone's as excited for your seniors as I am.
I'm gonna get ready to go.
Yeah. Whenever I tell the students that, they think I want them gone, and it's not that I want that, but I'm also like, I'm ready for them to be gone in a proud way.
Daniel, I have a question. I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties with a new iPad, so I joined late. Will all the slides be available online? Okay, thank you.
I'll send it in a PDF. I don't know why, but when I try to send it in a PowerPoint, it says that the file's too large and it never lets me send anything. So
Okay,
it'll come in a PDF.
thank you.
All right. If there's no more questions, I will stop my recording now.